Hey guys, what's going on? If you're new here, welcome. My name is BrittanyNichole, and today I'm sharing with you a number of different ways I achieve eyeliner on my hooded eyes. So I'm going to try my very best to not be rambly through this intro and keep myself together, but I lost one of my best friends last week. It is still difficult to get those words out, but I thought, what way can I honor her? What way can I celebrate her life? And I thought, what's better than doing her makeup staple, which was winged liner. Now, she didn't have hooded eyes. I do, and I know so many of you have come to my channel over the years because you have hooded eyes too, and you've told me how much my videos have helped you, and there is nothing greater to me than hearing that my videos have helped you. And I've noticed over the past year or so, I've stepped a little bit away from the hooded eyes tutorials. I personally just haven't been as into eyeshadow lately, as into liner and all that stuff, just not as into the glam. But I know so many of you are here because of that, and I want to continue to share my knowledge and educate. And I am so thankful to Christina for giving me that motivation in the last week to do that. She has really helped me kind of think about things in life, and that's something that I want to continue to do for you guys. So I'm going to share with you 4 different ways, I think it is, but there's a number of different styles I'm showing you, so it's kind of hard to put a number, but you'll see throughout the video. As always, I'm filming this in natural light. You guys know I don't use any kind of artificial light in my videos anymore. I just want to keep things as real as possible. And again, Christina has helped put that into perspective over the last week for me. I'm zooming you in. I'm actually using a different lens while I'm doing this video, and I am going to do a voiceover because it's just a lot easier to kind of formulate my thoughts. Whereas if I was kind of showing you and explaining, I would be pausing and all that stuff. So I hope the voiceover, I know it's a little dated in today's kind of YouTube scene, but I hope that's helpful for you guys and you're able to learn something throughout this video. I'm also gonna link a couple of videos I did with Christina on my channel. She is the only friend who ever came on my channel. I've been watching those videos over and over again for the past week now. They're a couple years old and the quality is not as good, and I've obviously learned a lot since then, but it's just keeping her spirit alive and laughing with her. It really, really makes me feel good. So if you're interested in seeing those, they're just fun, goofy videos. I'll link them down below. But without further ado, if you're interested in learning a little bit about eyeliner and hooded eyes, go ahead and keep watching. I wanted to start out with the most common liner method, and that's using a pencil. This one's from LA Girl, but any kohl liner would work well here. I just don't have one at the moment. Just make sure you're using something emollient. Also make sure you have a sharper pencil than I do, but not so sharp that you're going to poke your eye out. Somehow during this video, every other product I was using went missing. I feel like that was just Christina messing with me. All you're gonna do is make little marks as close to the lash line as possible. I like to use less product rather than more and build it up by using my Sigma E06 directly from the pencil. Notice how I turn my brush a lot. Sometimes I have it pointed inwards and sometimes I have it pointed outwards. I do that because it's a lot more comfortable, so play around with it and do what feels best for you. With the brush, I slowly pull the product out to build the wing and completely in to line the eye. You'll notice I bring the liner even closer towards the lash line as I get closer to the inner corner. I do this so I don't close off my eye even more than it already is. Again, you'll want to play around with this because your eyes might be a little more hooded in the outer corner, whereas mine are a little more hooded on the inner corner. And finally, I've recently started bringing my wings a little more out than up. This just elongates my eyes, which I've been enjoying lately. If you wanted your eyes to look a little more lifted, go ahead and follow your lower lash line and extend it upwards. It's all about playing around and finding what works best for you. Just try to keep it as close to the lash line as you can. Take note on where I'm holding the brush ferrule. I'm not holding at the end of the ferrule because I wouldn't be able to have control of the brush if I was. I'm holding a lot closer to the tip of the brush rather than the end because it gives me a lot of control, especially when I'm doing my wing. So here I'm just pointing out the little flesh tone space that I can't get into because I have actually 2 stacks of lashes, but I'll show you how I help correct that with a matte black eyeshadow from the Tati palette and a flat definer brush. This is a MAC 212 that I really tap off because you do not want any black shadow falling onto your face when you do this.
So all you're going to do is press right into the lash line where the fold of the lashes meet the skin. This is the best way to start lining your eyes when you have hooded eyes, and this is probably my favorite method and what I do most frequently. You'll want to go in with just a little bit of product to start and then add from there. Once I feel like I have the lash line defined, I'll switch back over to my Sigma E06, and then I'll go over every area I applied the pencil liner to make sure that it's set and as opaque as possible. This is so easy, and if you didn't apply the pencil or any other liner, it wouldn't take away any lid space that we cherish as hooded eye queens. I cannot recommend Q-tips enough during this process. I have yet to find a liner that doesn't transfer to my lower lash line when I blink, so if you guys have any recommendations, leave them down below. So now we're switching over to the eye that I have a hard time lining with the Sigma gel liner in Wicked. This is my favorite gel liner. It lasts forever and it's super emollient and black. I always dip then wipe the excess in the cap before applying to the eye. It's a slow process, but it prevents mistakes. First things first, we're lining the upper waterline to make the lashes look as thick as possible. I always recommend doing this, whether you're doing liner or not. Then we're basically going to follow the exact same steps we did with the pencil liner, except we're using a gel liner. So again, I highly recommend going in with just a little bit of product at a time, as close to the lash line as possible, and just slowly build up. Again, because my eyes are less hooded in the outer corner, I always start there because I have a little more room to apply some more product. See how I barely apply any product on the actual lid when I get closer to the inner corner? Again, I'm doing this because that's where I'm most hooded. Keep your Q-tips handy as you're trying to make your wings even, and just take your time with it by looking back and forth into a mirror. Let's be honest though, who cares if they're perfect? I know mine aren't, and it takes a lot of practice to get them even close to even. Just be patient and be easy on yourself. Using a gel liner here with just a tiny bit of product or an eyeshadow are the best ways to start because I think they're a lot easier to remove than using something like a liquid liner. See how I barely have anything on my brush as I make my outline? It's a little hard to do this on camera, but the best way is to look down into your mirror and get really up close. So now we're going to go ahead and take our liquid liner, Christina's favorite, the Wet n Wild Mega Liner in black. I have to admit, I think this is one of the darkest formulas I've ever used, and I do like the applicator, even though she said they changed it, because it's a nice stiff brush tip rather than a flimsy felt tip. I find felt tip liquid liners often bleed and brush tips don't. But as you can see, I'm going in here and using this to cover that fleshy toned area that I can't get into with the brush because of my double lashes. This is when the liquid formula really comes in handy for me. I really don't like this method to apply liner directly to the eye without anything under it. I just think there's too much room for error. See how nice and dark this is? And again, I always set my liner with a matte black shadow so it doesn't transfer to my hood. If you're struggling with your liner transferring, try to make it a little thinner. If you make it as thin as possible and it still transfers, you might need to just go in with a flat definer brush and line that way. And there you have it, 4-ish different ways to line your hooded eyes. Feel free to use any combination.
I'm gonna go pop on some mascara and lashes and I will be right back. All right, you guys, I went ahead and I threw some lashes on and I threw some mascara on just to kind of complete the look. But that is it for this one. I hope you found this video somewhat helpful or educational. As always, let me know if you have any questions down below. Otherwise, if you're interested in seeing any more videos from me, please subscribe. It means the absolute world to me, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.